Entara Tasda, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Laris, and oh my god, do I appreciate you guys, you little snuggle bums of joyful love you. You guys sent me quite a lot of replays when it came to my call for replays that I wanted to analyze. So, getting a bit tongue-tied there. So, yes, I'm going to bring you this first game in this series of analysis games of Protoss play. So, yeah, if you like what you see, please comment below and tell me that you like what you see. If you don't like this kind of analysis, kind of replay thing, then just say something, because, you know, then I'll stop doing it and I'll continue with whatever else I'm doing. So, as you can see there, let's get this kicked off right at the start. SebastianJSL, thank you very much for submitting this replay, mate. He did put his pylon down at 8 there, I believe. Actually, I'm going to go back and check that because I was in the middle of talking. So, yes, that pylon is going down at 8. At this point, the most efficient pylon placement at the very start of a game is at 9 food, so, in order to be able to continue as much pro production as possible. So this is very basic things, but very kind of fundamental knowledge that you need to know going into games and things like that. So yes, basic, very, very good knowledge. Pylon at 9, make sure that you do that. But you do see, we do see chrono boosting probes out there. Very nice. Keep on doing that and keep producing probes. Always very, very important to keep on top of production. Now we see JSL here is putting down a gateway at 10. Generally, if a player does put a gateway down at 10, this is going to mean a lot of early pressure. So either this is a mistake in the build order, because normally people do get it around 12 or 13 if they're just going for a standard build, or JSL is going to be applying some early pressure, so we're going to see how that pans out during the game. I'm actually going to ignore the opponent during this game for quite a lot. His name is Reina, and yes, I'm going to be ignoring him for quite a bit, but we do see some nice scouting here from JSL, just kind of putting a few rally points around to make sure he can be a bit annoying in the base of Reina. And we do see now an assimilator at 13. Again, assimilators normally come at around the 14, 15 mark. I think it's just predominantly because this gateway was a little bit earlier in comparison to pro production. So as you can see here, this chrono boost is getting a bit clipped. It's really important to use your chrono boost as efficiently as possible as a Protoss player, since this is our big macro mechanic. So what you want to do is you want to, as I say, keep producing probes and pylons. You're doing JSL is doing a very, very good job of keeping on top of pylon production. Everything begins with P. It's all very tongue twisting, but these probes need to come out a lot better. And this is a very common thing that I do see from the replays that I was sent. People in the lower leagues do forget probes quite a lot, and their saturation isn't as great as it would like to be. I would say in any game, unless you're going for some really, really accurate timing push, like for example a 4-gate, if you're going on all-in on a 4-gate, really you only need 16 probes on minerals. But if you're not, if you're going for a more drawn-out game, as we can see here, we do have 2 gateways down as well as a cybernetics core from JSL. You want to saturate and keep producing probes, so that when you do go for this second base, the natural, or even if you're feeling a bit saucy and going for the gold, you can transfer a lot of those probes. And oh my god, I'm getting so much FPS lag. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to silence some FPS issues. I'm not sure why it was like that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We do see JSL now going for a second assimilator. Nice, good timing on that assimilator. It's just, you just need to keep making sure that you're on top of the production here. Now, as we can see, the scout in the base of Reina did die, and we do see Reina now has a bunker in place as well. He's just also going for a factory. I said I was going to ignore him, but I did go into caster mode and kind of have a look what he was doing. And we do see a nice couple of units here from Sebastian. But at this point, his minerals are getting a little bit high. We could be producing out of this gateway still. And getting a little bit Psylocked as well. Again, you need to make every Protoss player needs to make in fact, every player needs to make a post-it note and stick it on the screen, just saying probes and pylons in big, big letters, or SCVs and supply depots, or overlords and drones, because it's so helpful. I have one on my screen and I forget a lot less than I should do. So as I say, getting a bit Psylocked here, as well as throwing down a robo facility, as well as a third gateway. So nice. Actually, I like the fundamentals of this build order. I mean, technically you can't produce off 3 gateways and a robo bay whilst being able to expand as well. So if you are going for some kind of an all-in, oh my god, what is with this FPS? Oh, the fucking yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna sort this out again. 1 second. Okay, I have no clue what is causing this FPS lag. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. I'm just gonna keep ploughing ahead. And we do see JSL now moving out with these units. Not much resistance here in the case of Reyna's. If you are going to move out with these units, I would say as a Protoss player, and you do have that warp gate technology researched, it's very good to bring yourself a probe up, put pylon down in a proximity position. Nice use of Guardian Shield there, since it negates a lot of the damage of Marines. And these Marauders are going to come in and fend this off quite nicely. Although that being said, this is doing a lot of damage right here. And you probably JSL at this point probably could have stuck in there and killed off these units quite easily with this force. As I say, this force right here, especially with the Guardian Shield up, is a menacing force. 1 Zealot, 1 Sentry, 1 Stalker. Very nice there. And effectively, I mean, if there was a pylon, a proximity pylon, and he was warping in units at that point, that could have ended the game right there. We're 8 minutes into the game currently, and that definitely could have ended the game. So, I mean, nice use of the units from JSL there, although I would say at the lower levels of play, people get a bit too kind of scared of pushing in and kind of, you know, taking the advantage. Although we do see now he is JSL is throwing down this Nexus, so nice fundamentals from JSL. He knows he's got the advantage at this point, and is going to be, you know, just kind of in essence, these units are containing Reyna, because he had a lot of pressure at the front. He's a bit scared to move out. He did lose a few Marines, and now he's throwing down this Nexus. So good fundamentals. Always expand when you attack, and make sure not to sacrifice all your units in that attack, because if you do, then obviously your expansion is going to be completely weak. So we do see now this Observer from JSL has moved towards the base of Reyna. Nice movement actually with this Observer. Normally people will just get a bit overzealous, kind of move that Observer straight towards their base, and if he'd have done that, these missile turrets would have picked them off. So now we can just see he is getting quite a lot of vision of this base moving around, and this is one of the big mistakes in this game. He does see now, JSL does see this Starport and Tech Lab combination. This can only it's very rare at low levels of play that people are going to be grabbing a Raven, so this is going to mean there's going to be a Banshee coming out anytime soon. So at this point you really need to make sure that you have some kind of detection during these games when you see this. Very nice to have. There's no need to just have one observer. Having two or multiple observers is really useful in many games. And as you can see here now, this observer is going to get sniped off. So at this point, when this observer does get sniped off, JSL doesn't react by making a second observer. He just goes straight for the Colossi. I mean, Colossi are, no doubt, Colossi are a great unit. You know, they can win you games in this situation where a Terran player is just going exclusively Marine Marauders. However, at this point, I'm actually not so sure if JSL realised that this observer got sniped, since that missile turret did go up in a timely fashion. And it seems like this Banshee is going to be moving over to the base or not. However, if this Banshee does